Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this guided practice session presented by the Contemplative Studies Centre at the University of Melbourne. I'm Dr. Cullen Joyce. I'm an Insight Fellow at the Centre. I'd like to begin the session with an acknowledgement of country. We respectfully acknowledge the traditional owners of the unceded land on which we work, live and learn, the Wurundjeri, Woiwurrung and Bunurong peoples. We pay respects to their elders past, present and future, and to any Indigenous people present today. So we're delighted to welcome Anne O'Keeffe, who will be facilitating this guided movement meditation series for the next few weeks. Anne is a dance and movement teacher, director, choreographer and performer. She founded Alchemy Dance with the intention to create a conscious, compassionate community united by a shared interest in mindful, creative movement. So please, if you have any questions for today, please post them at in the Q&A at the end of the session. So please, welcome Anne. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Cullen, for your warm welcome. Welcome back, everybody. Or if you're new, welcome to this session of movement meditation, a creative dance approach. And we're going to be working with our bodies and feeling presence through the sensing, feeling body. And I've been developing this work for the last 22 years and run classes in Melbourne and across Australia called Alchemy Dance classes. And the focus is on improvised movement or moment by moment creative movement. And it doesn't rely on any dance training. If you have that, great. And if you don't, also great. It doesn't rely on any formal training, because what I invite you to do is move authentically to the prompts that I provide, which can be physical instructions, which may be image-based, and sometimes I'm even showing you things that you can pick up on. But those prompts will be an impetus for you to jump into the pool of your creativity and move in your own way. And we all have different bodies, and we're all at different ages and stages, and we all have our limitations and our freedoms in our body. So I invite you to work with the body you have today, to honor it, respect it, and celebrate it. And today is all about celebrating the body, our body, having a conversation with it, and having a conversation with our body too, and the room or environment in which we're moving. So the key guiding principle of Alchemy Dance is unconditional positive regard for our body, and if we were in class together and seeing each other, for each other. And this notion of non-judgment or unconditional positive regard for our bodies and therefore ourselves is the bedrock of the work, because through cultivating that compassion, we create an open field for creativity to flow. If compassion is replaced by judgment, that inhibits creative flow enormously. So for me, it's all about getting out of the way of our habitual judgments of self, and that can be about our body, and so that we can flow into movement with ease and pleasure and find beauty and joy there. And that's what I invite for you today. Find beauty, pleasure, joy, and ease. That's what we're striving for. And that's what we can find in our body, no matter who we are and the body we bring or the energy we bring to class today. So as Cullen was saying, please put questions in the chat at the end of the session so that you're really in your body and connecting to your breath for the vast majority of the session. Work within your limits, as I said before. You know your body better than I do. So always respect what it can and can't do from moment to moment. we're going to be working with music here and there. And feel free to go to dance against the music's rhythm or with the music's rhythm. It's meant to be inspiration and support for you, but it's certainly not a jail cell. So feel free to move faster than the music or slower than the music, whatever your body dictates, because it's all about the authenticity of your response coming from the purity and innocence of your body rather than from the music itself or dominated by the music itself. So with all of that said, everybody, you know what? I'm really inviting you here to jump on the love train here with me. So having that sense of non-judgment, of unconditional positive regard for ourselves and our beautiful bodies, which carries us through this world, I just want you to be on that love train with me. And can you just throw up a heart in the reactions to let me know that you're on that love train with me? Yay. Okay, that's a lot of hearts. I'm really happy about that. Okay. So I would like to invite you to come to standing, please. And can you come to standing now in the middle of your little space? And just no matter how small or big the space is, try and find yourself, place yourself right in the middle of the space. And can you take a moment now to bring one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart and float the eyes closed. So what is it to close the eyes now and just feel the body? Just take a moment to feel that. And with the eyes closed like this, we can start, can't we, to bring our attention into our inner world and recognize with one heart on the belly and one hand on the heart, with a hand on those two places, we can recognize our inner sense of self at the same time as recognizing the form of the body. And this is quite a beautiful thing, to recognize that our body is a form that houses, that is the home of our beingness. And we are human beings in this moment. Feeling your feet on the floor. So I'm standing, and if that's available to you, I'd invite you to stand so that we can really feel that beautiful ancestral earth flowing into the feet, the energy of it flowing into the feet as the feet spread and soften. And we can feel that ancestral energy flowing up the long limbs of the legs and up into the pelvis and all the way up into the torso and right up to the crown of the head and down the arms to the hands that are holding our own body in this moment. And let's take some breaths in together. As we breathe in together, can we breathe in all the way to the crown of the head, breathing in. And as we breathe out, sigh it out. Just let go of anything you don't need. And breathing in all the way to the crown of the head, sigh out what you don't need. The sigh is the body's way of letting go. One more time, breathing in and breathing out with a sigh. Letting go. And now, can we honor our beautiful body by peeling the hands off the body, both heart and belly? And can we brush down the whole length of the body now with our warm hands? And I call this a cascade of caresses, and you can do this in any order, but just make sure you gather up your whole body. And you won't be able to see my whole body in this little space today, but I'd invite you to do this to your whole body. So I'm going to disappear now as I brush my hands down my legs all the way to the feet and cascade the hands up the other leg to the pelvis. As I feel the bony structure of the pelvis, this beautiful bowl that houses the legs. As I brush up the sides of the body and feel the belly breathing. As I brush down the arms. As I brush across the chest and feel the heart center gently opening. And even you can brush down the head, over the head and skull, up the back of the neck, over the head and skull, and down the face. And we can brush down the length of the face and just soften the face. Allow those micro muscles to soften. And as we finish that gradually, that process, come back to one hand on belly and one hand on heart. And rest. Take another breath in and a breath out. And gradually, we're going to begin to meet the body, celebrating each part of it, the beauty of each part of our human body. And I invite you to start with those very hands that you have on your body now. And if you want to stay on your feet, feel free to stay on your feet. And I know some of you may have yoga mats, so you might just lie down on the floor now and lie down, down, down on the floor and relax on the floor and soften into the floor's embrace. So you can do this next exercise either lying or from standing. And perhaps they're the best two options for us today. Perhaps we can avoid sitting. So whether you're lying now or whether you're standing, feel this human body of yours fully and breathe deeply. And peeling the hands off the body now, begin to discover the beauty of the hands. And we'll bring some music on soon, but first of all, I'm just going to guide you through a little bit as we experience the beauty of our own hands, the softness and tenderness of them, and their extraordinary capacity for articulacy. And if we think of these hands are not just articulate, they're articulate for a reason because they can do so many things that help us out. We can hold other people and they can hold us. And start to really work into the arms now. And as I get back on my feet in a moment, just feel the arms stretching up into space and celebrate the articulacy of the arms. Whatever you can do, celebrate what you can do today. So moving the arms in whatever way you want, just saying yes to all the beautiful movements the arms can do. And you'll be noticing that the chest and the spine are beginning to move because the arms and hands radiate off the chest and spine. So allow the chest and spine now to get involved and celebrate the ability of the chest and spine to work with the arms and hands to create movement. It's so beautiful. So just check that out. By moving, So moving the arms, hands now, arms, hands, chest back, and you'll be feeling the hips getting into play. So feel the hips now moving, 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 gather the hips in, and down from the gift of the pelvis is the long limbs of the legs, and you can even start moving the legs now a little bit. So celebrating the whole body, and the whole body is the teacher here in this work. So starting to get the whole body now engaged, the whole body now saying yes to itself, the whole body finding joy and finding beauty. Can we experience that from moment to moment over the next 6 minutes or so? Stay moving. Whole body is the teacher. Whole body moving. Whole inner body. Whole outer body. Expressing the inner body. Whole body saying yes to itself. Allow the music to lift you up and expand the dance outwards. Feel it from coming from the inside out. letting go now into the last phase of the music. And gradually, as the music fades, find an ending. Finding that ending now in stillness. So what is it to find an ending now? To allow it to just arrive on its own. This is because this is where you've landed. So that's your ending. And feel the shape, excuse me, the shape that you're in right now. And feel yourself, your human beingness on an inner level. So notice what's going on an inner level, whether your heart's beating faster or you feel a little sweat on your skin, or just notice what's happening. And just celebrate the vitality of your human body in this moment. And take a breath in, a big deep breath in, and a breath out with a sigh. Letting go. And take a moment now to write a few things down. If you've got a journal that we asked you to bring, just write a few things down. And if you haven't got a journal there, maybe you can just rest your hands again on heart and belly, that little gesture again, and just rest and feel the resonance of the movement continuing to move within you. But if you've got something to write down things on, well, write something in your journal. Write any feelings or thoughts or imaginings that came out of the movement. This is a tiny bit of integrating time. So perhaps you've managed to write some things. And can we just say yes to what's poured out on the page? Something interesting has come onto that page for you. It's something to perhaps reflect on a little bit more later. But let's say yes to it all that has arisen on an inner level in response to the movement that we've been doing. And let's now come to our feet gradually, and we're going to do a second movement experience. And we're going to be slowing down again for a little while so you can get your breath. But come back up onto your feet now, if that's available to you. And of course, you can always make modifications. Be sitting in a chair if you need to. But if you were lying for that first event, come up on your feet now. Let's do this one on our feet. So everyone, this beautiful body is worth celebrating, isn't it? This body that carries us through life, that experiences life, that perceives life, and expresses our reactions to life, our responses to life. And this body is also intricately embedded into our environment. So we're going to work a little bit with our body in space now, with our participation, with the conversation that we have with space all the time. But perhaps we're just not quite aware of it. So come back to one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, so that you're really feeling that presence of your inner sense of self, and you're feeling the form of your body without judgment. And I invite you now to begin to become aware of the space above you. And can we just take some time to reach into that space? So just reaching up into the space above us. And the degree to which you reach is up to you. Just reaching up, and just finding that, getting that little stretch at the side of the body and acknowledging the space above you. And what is it now to begin to acknowledge the space beneath you, so that we're reaching down towards the ground? So we're acknowledging that earth beneath us that we acknowledged at the top of the class, but we're just physically acknowledging it by reaching towards it. And we can come back to reaching above again, noticing the blue sky above us or the cloudy sky above us, and then reaching down into the floor and feeling the body stretching and unfolding a little bit more as we reach and acknowledge the earth beneath us. And maybe now we can try both. We can reach into the space above, reach into the space below, swap arms, and of course you can do things differently to the way I'm doing it. And we can acknowledge simultaneously the height above us and the depth below us. And let's now welcome left and right. So we have the space to the left, and I've only got a little bit of space, but let's just work with what we have. Let's acknowledge the space to our left and the space to our right, and really see what's there. There might be a bookshelf on one side like there is in my room, or there might be another desk, but just acknowledge what's there, so that as we're moving, we're drawing our awareness of the space we're in into the dance. So it's almost like we're dancing with what's on the left of us and what's on the right of us. And now coming up to up and down again, reaching, and almost as if we're dancing with that cloudy or blue sky and dancing with that earth now. So dancing with what's there on the left, on the right, dancing with what's there above and below. And now forward and back. And you can even use the screen, though I can't see you. Play with what's behind you. Play with what's in front of you. Yeah. Beautiful. So we've got up and down, and we're acknowledging the surface under our feet. We're acknowledging what's above us, the ceiling, the sky. We're acknowledging now the left and the right. We're acknowledging forward and back. And just keep playing with those dimensions. This is showing us all how multi-dimensional our body is, which is so beautiful. So working with those 6 dimensions, up, down, side to side, forward and back, as we move into some new music now. Okay, just really participating. Can this dance be a dance with our environment? Can this dance be a dance with our environment? As if we're having a discussion physically with our environment. Give that a go. Allow yourself to be playful. Last track now, last track to play with. Playing. and gradually find an ending for what you're doing as the silence descends. So good to move, just for moving's sake, because moving is what our body's designed to do. And here we are, a body now with an inner sense of self and a body connected to the wider world. And through movement, we can connect deeply to our inner sense of self and connect deeply to our outer world, acknowledging all of it. So let's all take a big deep breath in and a sigh out. And we can take some moments now for questions. If you have any questions to put in the chat, it's just a little bit of time for that as we welcome Cullen back in.
Thanks very much, Anne. I just said it. I know this is probably not because I'm in my office. The thing that was coming for me when you were bringing us around the room was that I had kind of was saw that I was much more engaged with my space than I have been, and I kind of instinctively I looked around and said, "Oh, I need to clean up," but I just kind of want to say, like, I'm not always great with movement, but I was really surprised about how it really helped me to connect with a place that I've spent a lot of time, but in a really much more refreshing way. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Cullen. Yes, it's in any dance practice, our participation, our recognition of our body as part of space is really important. And for me, spaces have got a kind of a particular energy, and there's almost an energetic, there is, for me at least, an energetic participation between my body and the space itself, whether it's an internal space or an external space. And once I become aware of that, there is this extraordinary sense of connection that flows from that, and awareness and gratitude, actually, for my humanness, but also the wider world and how my humanness interacts with that wider world. So yes, that's wonderful.
Thank you. We had a couple of questions just about the music, and some of the audience were wondering if you could share the titles of those.
Mm-hmm.
We could always send those out in an email too, I think.
Yeah.
And a couple of comments, wonderful energy. One of the attendees also said that they had a feeling of lots of emotions coming up with that they was kind of connecting with their body through the dance, and that it kind of made them almost feel sad and wanted to cry, and there's also those feelings, and also feelings of physicality, and also feeling like, oh geez, I haven't felt that part of my body for a while. And could you comment about how the connections the dance brings how to connect with the emotions there?
Yes, it's interesting, Cullen, because inevitably when our body houses our emotions, so when we connect with our body physically in that very full way, sometimes emotions can arise, what I call from the ground up. And for me, emotion is energy to work with. So we can allow the emotion to be released into the form of the moving. And over time, it gets released and something gets shifted and transformed. So in terms of the overall practice I strive to create, we never get stuck in emotions. It's always about letting things go and finding the potential of joy and ease and pleasure to come through. But having said that, I acknowledge that sometimes things can come up in those other ends of the spectrum, as it does for me. But engaging with dance for me allows me to connect with them, become aware of them, make sense of them, and ultimately release them.
Thank you, Anne. Louise had just commented that her work is research work is also exploring this, the relationship between space and shaping identities. So she wanted to acknowledge that. It was wonderful to hear you talk about that. And Shanila asked if what are some of the physiological changes and benefits to the practice?
Look, the body, as I said before, is designed to move, and sitting is seen at the moment in medical research as one of the worst things we can do for our body. And so just the act of moving the whole body, getting the whole organism moving, is incredibly healthful, or brings health benefits, not just physically, but ultimately mentally too. So I would say physiologically, absolutely, it serves the purpose of activating the body into motion, which is what it's designed to do. And for me, as I say, that cuts both ways. It looks after my body physically, and it looks after my mind and emotions too, because I'm able through the movement to transform or release those over time. So I think there are mental and physical benefits through the physiological practice of dance, or indeed any movement whatsoever, whether you go for a walk at lunchtime and see some beautiful trees.
Thank you. Look, we've got a couple of questions that have also here that we may not get time to look at because we're getting close to the end, but I'll just invite anyone who also has comments. I know Louise has put another comment in the chat to contact us with anything that you'd like, but if we can come back to some of these questions for next week, if that's okay, everyone. Sorry about that. So look, thank you, Anne, for today's session, and thank you to our audience for joining us. The Contemplative Study Centre is pleased to host these sessions for our community, and your feedback means a lot to us. So please do take our survey when you have the time. But yeah, thank you again, Anne, and look, we'll look forward to seeing you next week and everyone else. And look, as I said, we'll be able to kind of communicate during the time again.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful week.